Hi, and welcome to an interview with Frankie McCarthy from Fantasy Bricks with his Hobbit Mirkwood Forest. Hi, Frankie.
Hi, you're right.
Yeah. So what we're going to do first off is just have a quick look at his a clip from his creation. Okay. I'm going to hand over to Callum, and Frankie's going to take us around his MOC.
Yeah, so if you just, where do you want to start from, really?
Okay, yeah, we'll start kind of where the story starts. Just so you can see.
That's fine.
Here we go.
Wow.
So here is the display in its glory. Here's a quick look at the entire thing.
So how many baseboards is it?
So it's 6 32 by 32 base plates by 4 32 by 32 base plates.
It's quite big.
Wow. So where does the story start?
So yeah, the story starts right here in kind of the left-hand side of the MOC. And I guess the story behind it is that the dwarves are on a kind of a mission to reclaim their homeland. But to get to their homeland, they have to go through this big evil forest. And the first kind of major obstacle that they face is this evil river, which has got spells around it. And to kind of reflect this evilness, they use dark blue and then some kind of black vines, as you can see there, to try and suggest that it's kind of evil. And in the film and the book, Bomber, who is one of the fatter dwarves, you could say, falls into the river and they have to get him out. So that's been shown there.
Wow. So did you take ideas from both the books and the films?
Yeah, I rewatched and reread the book just before I started to kind of refresh my memory, and I wanted to try and encapsulate every single scene that was shown in either.
Wow, that's amazing. So I see the Underwheel up there.
Yeah. The Elf King is looking over his kingdom. I actually can't take full claim for this design of the tree, as this is based off the new tree house.
Oh, wow. So you've taken techniques from lots of places.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll then just quickly skate over the kind of centerpiece of the MOC, because that happens later in the story. So the dwarves then go to another section of the forest where they stray on the road in search of food, and here they get captured by these giant spiders and put in webs of trees.
Wow.
And this is actually a Lego piece. People often ask about it, and it was used in the Mirkwood Spiders set from the Hobbit line.
So you got lovely colours in the trees. Was that difficult to source those kind of leaves of different colours?
Yes, definitely. Especially the dark red ones are really hard to get hold of.
Did you use Bricklink for that, or?
Yeah, Bricklink is expensive, but yeah, it's great.
Yeah, we're always going on there and buying stuff. So
where did you get the tree techniques from?
This is actually the first time I've built trees quite like this. I've built quite a lot of trees in the past, but this time I used, I guess, slope pieces at the bottom, and then use 1x2 palisade bricks, which are kind of the slightly rounded brown bricks for the centre trunk for these ones.
Wow.
And where did you get the idea from that, or did you just do it out of the top of your head?
I was just looking at my parts collection and kind of saw those parts, and I thought that would probably work for a tree. So
Right.
Wow.
I guess next, the kind of hero of the story, Bilbo, puts on his magic ring and he turns invisible, and he starts to free the dwarves and fight against the spiders, and really find his bravery in this scene. But they can't really do it on their own, and as they're escaping, more spiders come. But luckily, the elves of Mirkwood come to their rescue, as you can see here, and they fight off the spiders and kill them all.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah. This was probably the part of the MOC that I found most enjoyable to build.
So what happens once the elves take the dwarves?
So this is kind of the back section of the MOC now. And what happens first is that the leader of the dwarves is sent to the king of the elves, where the elf king demands why they were walking through their land. And when the leader of the dwarves, Thorin, doesn't tell him why, they're thrown in the dungeons, which are over here. And then Bilbo, the hero of the story, yet again puts on his magic ring and helps them escape, because he turns invisible, finds the keys, and escapes. Gets them all to escape from the cells. Then they walk somehow, not quite sure how, past all these elves here. And then they go to the wine cellar, where Bilbo has the ingenious idea of the dwarves escaping in barrels. So that's exactly what they do.
So is this your first time showing this section?
Yeah, this section is the last thing I built. So not many people have really seen it. It's much better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
It's very clever.
Mm.
So you've been building Lego for a long time, I guess, looking at how good this is.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've been building about 6 years now, since I was like a little kid, pretty much.
And have you done it by yourself, or is it dad or mum or anybody helped you with it, or?
Oh, originally to start off, my dad, but not first, kind of got into building first, like creatively. So he kind of helped me in the beginning, but now this is kind of just completely on my own now.
So where did you get the idea from?
For this particular one, I was just thinking what to build at this when kind of lockdown hit, and I knew I'd have a lot of time on my hands, and I thought, why not build a big castle? And I thought, why not go a step further and also build another scene that I love from the Hobbit franchise? And yeah, I just thought, why not do Mirkwood?
Wow.
And then the last scene, which is in the centerpiece of the MOC, is the dwarves escape in the barrels, and then all to these nasty fellas here. They come out of the shadows and try and attack them, but yet again the elves come to their rescue, and there's kind of a big showdown happening here.
Cool.
So you've got so many techniques in this build. Where did you get them all from?
A lot of things you kind of just take inspiration from other builders and other MOCs, because I've seen a lot of stuff now. I've been to a lot of shows, and every time I just kind of nab little bits here and there. Like, for instance, I can't take claim for the round tab technique, but I've seen it done a lot of times. I thought I really could do that. So when I got the parts, because all you really need is and then a lot of round barrels or round ones, you can build a round tower.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's a good technique, that one. I think of using that one myself sometime, perhaps.
So how many pieces?
What kind of things do you build?
We build all sorts, really. I'm mostly GBC, but Callum does a lot of Star Wars.
Yeah, I really love Star Wars.
We did have a big city that took us 18 months to build, which we took to 4 different shows last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so but I'm a bit of a GBC freak, so that's my main thing.
That's cool.
So how many pieces?
Yeah, with regards to piece count, I'm really not sure. I tried to estimate the other day, and obviously, as you guys know, it's very hard to estimate, but I reckon maybe 40,000 parts, possibly. Quite sure.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Looking at that. So is this in your bedroom, or do you have a special room where you do your Lego, or?
Yeah, I am lucky enough to have my own kind of Lego room, so
Ah,
I'm really lucky in that respect. And kind of table and this MOC just taking up the entire room.
cool. So how long do you normally keep your MOCs for?
Well, I normally kind of only have them for about 6 months, and once they've been to a couple of shows, I'm happy literally to just completely destroy them. But with this one, obviously, there's not many shows happening other than the virtual one we're doing right now. So I'm not quite sure how long this will be kept for. I'm really happy that people are seeing it through what you guys are doing, also through YouTube. But yeah, I'm not quite sure how long I'll have this one, but probably not very long. I'll probably destroy it within a couple of months.
So if you could take it to a show, would that be feasible, being the size of it, or is that not a possibility?
Yeah, I have actually taken much bigger displays to shows. I did a big Hogwarts one, and there's a series that's not as good as my Mirkwood one, but I'm showing that. And that was a nightmare to get to the show, but it's always possible. You just need like kind of maybe 8 boxes this size or something sometimes. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I remember seeing your Hogwarts display. Was it at Lincolnshire last year, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's the only one it went to actually. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was pretty superb.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm much happier with this one. My aim with this one was for it to be my best MOC I've done yet, and I think it is. Hopefully, I'm really happy with it.
Yeah,
I'd agree with you, having looked at lots of your work on YouTube. Which, by the way, guys, you can go to Fantasy Bricks to look at Frankie's work, and haven't you done 9 different episodes of creating this MOC?
Yeah, I literally showing you step by step, every step of the way, kind of how it's been built. Lots of time lapse.
So head over to there and have a look at this in more detail, because I've been watching them and they're really interesting. So how long has this taken all in all to create, do you think?
So 10 weeks, then definitely over 100 hours. I'm not quite sure to the hour, but quite a long time.
Yeah. Well, I guess you've had the time being in lockdown.
Yeah, that's it. It's pretty much all I've been doing. Every couple of days, I'll just come and build for maybe like a 4-hour stint or whatever and get a lot done.
Yeah. Cool.
So do you have a favourite section of your MOC?
Yes, I would probably say the spiders scene, because this was another section that normally I visualize stuff in my head, and this kind of, once it was created in the brick itself, it actually looked a lot better, and I'm really like it. It looks quite even. I use these like vine pieces to be like dead trees, these black ones here, and yeah, I've never really done that before, so it's quite cool.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. I quite like your barrel scene. That's and the bridge over. That's quite nice.
Yeah, people love this on the YouTube. I think people really, especially the kind of waterfall section here, people really responded well to that.
Yeah, that's pretty clever. So is that are they 1x2 transparent bricks, or?
Yeah, that's right. They're the ones from the Lego wall, and yeah, I stack them in a weird way. Try and show water. I'm not quite sure it fits in with physics and everything with the way the water's falling, but hey,
Yeah,
it looks good.
It's a magical world, so anything goes, doesn't it?
Exactly.
So how do you get on with doing rock techniques? Because they can be quite time consuming, can't they?
Yeah, they take the longest by far doing rock work, but they do look really good. And I mean, every time you do it, they turn out slightly differently. But like kind of this section over here is slightly different to this section over here. But just the more you do it, the better you get. This time I just chose to do completely dark grey, but normally I do a light grey and dark, and it does look a bit better. I just wanted like a plain rock face this time.
Wow.
So what size are they? Like 1x2 slopes, or most of them, and some bigger than others? All right, I can see, yeah.
Yeah.
So you got a good mixture in there.
Yeah, 1x2 and like the inverted and normal slopes are the ones I use the most. And then also the 1x2x3 slopes and the inverted ones. Here's an inverted one here. These are really hard to apply, but these look the best. So if you want to do rock face, I definitely recommend trying to get your hands on these.
Yeah, that's why I've got a GBC pirate ship that I've done, which is on a desert island, which you can actually see on the show, and that's done in that sort of technique. So I've used those 3x2s or 4x2s, whatever they are, inverted and normal slopes to do mine.
Yeah.
So you got different kind of palm tree techniques there, but they're not palm trees, obviously. But they're sort of slopey. That's I've never seen anybody do that before, but that's quite a nice technique.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was the first time I've used it as not a palm tree, as you said, and I kind of wanted them kind of snaking and just kind of slightly creepy, like odd, because Mirkwood's got like kind of evil charms surrounding it, kind of bending the trees into evil positions and stuff.
Wow.
Really cool.
So did you have any troubles placing the towers in?
The round towers?
Yeah.
Or like kind of attaching them or just building them, or
Both, I guess.
I think when you start building them, they're kind of tricky to do, but once you get like a few layers in, they're quite simple and quite relaxing to do. I mean, I'll show you how they literally just fit on, like right there, just kind of slot on, they're connecting on like 2 studs. You just kind of fill that gap there. But yeah, that'll make it a bit easier to transport at least.
So there's a lot of brick link orders went on to create this, I guess.
Yeah, I've probably spent about maybe 60 on this. Then I took the opportunity to order 1,000 of the 1x2 slopes for kind of future stuff as well, because I'd ran out of those and I realised how useful they are. So yeah, I definitely spent a little bit, but most of it I luckily had. I didn't
Right.
Definitely wasn't doing it from scratch.
So do you know what you might be building next once you've finished with this one?
Yeah, so probably around December kind of time, this will probably be destroyed, even if it hasn't been to a show. And I'm going to start doing Endor from Star Wars, like The Last Jedi. No, The Return of the Jedi.
All right, that's quite a favourite of people. Lots of people do that, don't they? So
yeah,
but,
yeah. I've been getting a hold of Ewoks and Scout Troopers and stuff for that. That'll be my first Star Wars one, because I've found that a lot of people online and on YouTube really like Star Wars. So I thought I'd do a Star Wars one for them.
I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Frankie, for... Oh, we've lost him.
Hang on a sec.
We lost you. I was just going to say, Frankie, thanks very much for showing us around Mirkwood, and we'll end the broadcast there.
Sure. Yeah, it's really good to see you.
Do you want to stay online and